Now, who would have bet that after 4 rounds of the Premiership, Easts would be leading and Newcastle running second, the only 2 clubs to remain unbeaten. The Roosters won't be counting their chickens before they hatch, but it's a start that throws the door wide open, and the less fancied clubs should start to believe that anyone can make the finals this year. The one club that may take some convincing of that after the week's events is the Gold Coast. Let's take a look at some of this week's action. Parramatta faced life without Sterlo as East showed no mercy at the football stadium. With big games from Nigel Gaffey, Craig Salvatori and Steve Deacon, the Roosters showed they can throw the ball around when they want to. Their 30-6 win carried them to outright lead on the ladder for the first time since 1981. At Kogarah, under the guiding hand of Ewan McGrady and Darren Smith, Canterbury battled to a 6-4 half-time lead over St George when Matthew Ryan crossed. But star performances from Tony Priddle and Mark Coyne lifted the Dragons to a 16-6 win, made sweeter by the safe return from injury of Brad Mackay. To Campbelltown, where the Magpies led Norths 14-0 after 20 minutes. The Bears fought back with Daryl Halligan given the benefit of the doubt as he lost control in grounding the ball. In the second half, the injury-depleted Norths hit the front 16-14 and may well have sealed the match if Gary Larson's pass had not been called back. 2 quick Magpie tries then secured an unconvincing win, 26-16. At Wollongong, both Illawarra and Canberra were injury hit, but the Steelers' depth shone through. Raiders coach Tim Sheens blasted his side's defence as atrocious. Dale Fritz and John Simon pushed representative claims as the Steelers raced to a 24-4 lead after only 23 minutes, and they never looked back.
Simon under the post, I don't believe it, 22-4.
To Auckland, in a home game for half a dozen players, Manly and Newcastle produced some magical moments.
He'll go all the way. Williams.
Newcastle proved their position on the ladder is no fluke.
Miller gets it away. Hagan.
At 12 all, after Michael O'Connor was late tackled, the Seagulls went within a whisker as Craig Hancock was ruled to have touched the sideline. While it's hard to deny the Knights, Manly clearly had cause to complain about the final pass from Kemp to Gordon, which sewed up a 16-13 win. At Tweed Heads, Cronulla enjoyed their first win of the year as an old combination fired. Wally Lewis was fuming as the Gold Coast's valiant win with 12 men against Illawarra a week earlier quickly faded into memory. What also was soon a memory was the 2 points from that game. The league stripped the Seagulls of the points for using a 5th player as a blood bin substitution when only 4 can be used. At the same time, Cronulla were fined $10,000 for a similar mistake in a losing game. The clubs claim the rule is ambiguous. I believe it was the club's responsibility to clarify the rule, and therefore they're at fault. But the punishment is far too severe for an accidental breach which gave the clubs no real advantage. The fine is appropriate, but not the loss of 2 points. Is the league saying a semi-final berth, 28 points, is worth only $140,000? Now, I know the league set a precedent when in 1989 they stripped South Sydney of 2 points for a similar type of breach. Well, the league was wrong then and it's wrong now. A new set of guidelines needs to be put in place.